There's a ton of nonsense car advice out there that waste your money and cost you thousands in unnecessary repairs. And the kicker? You don't know you probably are falling for it. Stick till the end, because we'll be debunking these 15 car myths people are still doing, which waste time and money. Let's dive in. Myth number 14. Premium fuel is always better. If your car was designed for regular 87 octane, putting in premium is like buying designer water for your houseplants. Your engine literally cannot use the higher octane rating. Here's what most people don't know. Premium fuel has one key difference: a higher octane rating. Regular gas has an octane level of 87, while premium starts at 91 or higher. High-performance engines need higher octane fuel to prevent premature detonation or knocking. But if your engine isn't designed for it, premium fuel won't give you extra power or efficiency. But here's the shocking part: that cleaner engine claim. It's just marketing. All gasoline, whether regular, mid-grade or premium, contains detergents to prevent carbon buildup. Premium fuel doesn't have special cleaning properties. If your engine needs cleaning, a professional service, not a premium pump, is the solution. Let me explain why this myth persists. Oil companies can't legally claim that premium gas improves performance in engines designed for regular fuel, so they market it as a cleaner option instead. But think about it. If regular gas was dirty, wouldn't every old car on the road have clogged fuel lines? They don't. Speaking of fuel waste, get ready for a winter ritual that's destroying your engine. Number 13. You must warm up your car for minutes before driving. This age-old practice of warming up your engine before driving is no longer true. It's actually bad for your car to let it idle. One of the most common misconceptions when it comes to vehicles involves the need to warm up the engine before going out for a ride. Let me explain why this is outdated. Modern fuel-injected engines need about 30 seconds of warm-up time, not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes. The best way to warm up your car? Drive it gently. The engine warms up faster while moving, and you're actually making progress toward your destination, instead of watching fuel dollars evaporate from your driveway. Here's the shocking part. Extended idling puts extra fuel into the combustion chamber, which can get into your cylinder walls. Without proper circulation, the oil won't dissolve the excess gasoline, potentially causing more wear than simply driving gently would. But here's what most people don't know. This myth comes from the carburetor era, when cars genuinely needed warming up to run properly. A cold carburetor couldn't atomize fuel effectively, leading to stalling and poor performance. But modern fuel injection systems adjust automatically to temperature, delivering precisely the right amount of fuel regardless of conditions. Myth number 12. Manual transmissions always save more gas. It used to be true. Manual cars were more fuel efficient. They were simpler, gave drivers more control, and avoided the energy loss of early automatic transmissions. But that's not the case anymore. Here's how it actually works. Modern automatics have caught up, and in many cases surpassed manuals in fuel efficiency. Newer automatics come with advanced technology like continuously variable transmissions, dual clutch systems, and optimized gear ratios. These systems shift gears more efficiently than a human ever could, making every drop of fuel count. Here's the kicker. Today, many modern automatics outperform manuals at the pump. They adjust in real time for better mileage, while a manual driver relies on experience and instinct to shift at the right time. The technology has evolved, and so have the ways we save gas. Let me tell you why this is significant. Even the best manual shifter can't match the precision of modern automatic transmissions that can predict the perfect shift point down to the millisecond. Don't believe me? Check the EPA ratings. Many automatic versions now get 2 to 3 mpg better than their manual counterparts. Buckle up, because this next tire myth could literally kill you on the highway. Myth number 11. Bigger tires mean more grip and safety. Here's a dangerous upgrade that fools even experienced drivers. People slap on oversized tires thinking they'll get more grip, better control, and a safer ride. But guess what? The wrong size tire can do the opposite. Here's the trick they don't want you to know. It can wreck your fuel economy, throw off braking, and destroy suspension components faster than you think. Extra width means more weight, and that weight stresses your steering and handling, especially in corners or rain. But here's the shocking part. Too wide, and you increase hydroplaning risk, not traction. And let's not forget, bigger tires can throw off your speedometer, affect ABS systems, and void warranties if not calibrated properly. Here's the solution. If you want real grip, go for quality rubber, not unnecessary width. The correct tire size is carefully chosen by the manufacturer to balance handling, braking, fuel economy, ride comfort, and tire life. For most drivers, it's the best choice. Get ready to be furious about this next scam disguised as free help. Myth number 10. Free check engine diagnosis at auto parts stores. Auto parts stores love to advertise free check engine light diagnostics, but this is a catch. These services are more about getting you to buy parts on the spot, even if those parts won't solve the real problem. Here's how it works. They'll connect a diagnostic tool to your car and read the error code. While this code points to a general issue, it doesn't always identify the root cause. For example, a code might indicate a sensor problem, but it won't tell you whether the sensor is faulty, dirty, or simply receiving bad data from another part. Let me explain why this is misleading. The service itself is basic and often incomplete. Auto parts stores won't guarantee their diagnosis, and for liability reasons, they won't tell you exactly what's wrong with your car. Their goal is simple: sell parts. Here's what you need to know. This doesn't mean they're being dishonest, it's just business. The hope is that you'll buy the suggested parts and visit again for future purchases. For a proper diagnosis, consult a professional mechanic. They have the tools and expertise to pinpoint the real issue. This air conditioning myth will make you question everything you know about staying cool. Myth number 9. Running AC always uses more gas than windows down. Rolling down your windows instead of using AC might feel economical, but the science tells a different story. Modern air conditioners are surprisingly efficient, and their impact on fuel consumption is minimal. Here's the fascinating part. At city speeds below 40 mph, windows down might save a tiny bit of fuel, but hit the highway and those open windows create so much aerodynamic drag that they actually waste more fuel than running the AC would. Here's something you probably don't know. Modern AC systems are remarkably efficient, typically reducing fuel economy by only 1 to 3%. That's maybe 1 mpg difference. Hardly worth turning your car into a sweat lodge during summer commutes. But here's the real secret. This myth persists because older AC systems genuinely were fuel hogs, sometimes reducing economy by 10% or more. But automotive engineers have revolutionized climate control technology in recent decades. Variable displacement compressors, electronic controls, and better refrigerants have dramatically reduced the power demands of modern AC. Prepare to be shocked about this SUV safety myth that puts families at risk. Myth number 8. All SUVs are safer than smaller cars. This myth has been circulating for years, and it's easy to see why. Thanks to their size, there's a perception that SUVs are always going to be safer than cars, should the worst happen, and you find yourself involved in an accident. Let me explain why this is wrong. All vehicles, whether hefty SUVs or tiny compact cars, have many of the same safety features: airbags, anti-lock brakes, and even alarms warning drivers of an imminent collision. These days, automakers have to follow far stricter safety regulations when producing cars. Here's the shocking part. Even compact sedans and hatchbacks are much safer than they used to be. So safe that sometimes they earn better safety scores than crossovers or SUVs. It all depends on the quality of materials used, the vehicle's construction, and its safety systems. But here's what most people don't know. SUVs have higher centers of gravity, which means they're far more likely to roll over. These crashes are among the deadliest on record. Plus, drivers get cocky. They brake later, speed harder, and cut corners sharper, putting pedestrians, cyclists, and smaller cars in real danger. This maintenance myth has mechanics laughing all the way to the bank. Myth number 7. You need regular tune-ups for modern cars. Regular tune-ups might have been a must in the past, but modern cars don't need them. It's a myth. Older cars required frequent maintenance, replacing spark plugs, adjusting the carburetor, and fine-tuning the ignition system. Here's how it actually works. Today's cars have advanced engine control modules that constantly adjust air, fuel, and ignition timing automatically. There's no need to tweak these systems manually. Modern ignition components also last much longer. Spark plugs, coils, and fuel injectors are designed to go for tens of thousands of miles before needing replacement. Here's the kicker. Even fuel filters, now inside the gas tank, self-clean as fuel moves around them. The computer-controlled systems in modern vehicles are so sophisticated that they continuously optimize performance without any manual intervention required. Let me tell you why this matters. Many drivers still take their cars for unnecessary tune-ups that involve replacing parts that are still perfectly functional. This can cost hundreds of dollars for services your car simply doesn't need. You won't believe this battery myth that's been passed down for generations. Myth number 6. Disconnecting the battery fixes everything. This one's a fossil from the carburetor era. Back then, pulling the battery cable could reset the system. Today, it could wreck it. Sure, it might turn off a check engine light, but it won't fix the cause. Here's the shocking reality. In modern cars, disconnecting the battery risks far more than a false reset. You could trigger the anti-theft system, lose radio codes, erase transmission memory, or even brick your infotainment screen. Some cars need a memory saver just to keep things stable. But here's the terrifying part. Damage the ECU, and you're looking at a 4-figure bill for a 2-second shortcut. Don't gamble with your wiring. Use an OBD2 scanner. It's safer, cheaper, and actually useful. Here's what you need to know. Modern cars rely on stored data to operate efficiently. When you disconnect the battery, you're erasing all the learned parameters that help your car run smoothly, potentially causing performance issues even after reconnection. If you're getting value from this video of myths that ruins your car engine and waste your money, now's the perfect time to hit that like button. We've got 5 more surprising car myths that save you thousands in car repairs, and you won't want to miss the number 1 myth that every single driver is falling for. This next myth about car washing will ruin your paint job forever. Myth number 5. Automatic car washes damage your paint. Some people believe that regular car washers, especially automatic car washers, can damage the paint and finish of their car. While it's true that improper washing techniques can cause scratches and swirl marks, a reputable car wash using gentle methods and high-quality cleaning products is perfectly safe for your car's paint. Here's the reality. Modern car washes use soft cloth or touchless methods to clean your car without causing damage to the paint. Regular car washing is essential to maintain the appearance and value of your car. Let me explain why avoiding car washes is worse. Avoiding car washes due to this myth can lead to a buildup of dirt, grime, and road salt, which can actually be more harmful to your car's paint in the long run. These contaminants can cause permanent damage if left untreated. Here's the solution. Choose reputable car washes that use modern equipment and techniques. Hand washing at home can actually be more damaging if you use dirty towels or improper techniques that grind dirt into the paint. Get ready for an oil change myth that's been fooling drivers since the 1940s. Myth number 4. Change oil every 3,000 miles. The 3,000-mile oil change rule is outdated. It was common in the 1940s through the 1980s, when motor oils were less advanced and engines weren't as efficient. But modern engines and synthetic oils don't need such frequent changes. Here's what most people don't know. Back then, oils were petroleum-based with fewer additives. Engines weren't as well sealed, and contaminants built up quickly. Changing oil every 3,000 miles made sense to prevent sludge and wear, but technology has come a long way. Here's the kicker. Today's synthetic oils are far more advanced. They last longer, resist breakdown, and provide better protection against heat and contamination. Engines also run cleaner thanks to improved materials, better seals, and more efficient oil filters. But here's the shocking truth. Most cars today recommend 5,000 to 7,500 miles, with some going 10,000 miles or more on full synthetic oil. Check your owner's manual, not the quick lube sticker. This dealership myth will make you never trust them again. Myth number 3. Dealerships are more reliable than independent shops. Many drivers treat dealerships like sacred ground, with more tools, training, and trust. But that's not always the reality. Most independent shops today use the same diagnostic software, VIN scanners, and technical databases as the dealers. Here's what you need to know. Some mechanics even come from dealership backgrounds. But do you know what they don't bring? That padded invoice. Dealers often charge double the labor, triple the parts, and push recommended services you don't actually need. Let me explain the real difference. Your local mechanic might use the same OEM parts or better quality aftermarket ones, and they'll usually explain things in plain English, not corporate jargon. It's quotas over quality at many dealerships. That's the game. Here's the solution. Independent shops often provide more personalized service, competitive pricing, and genuine care for your vehicle's needs rather than corporate profit margins. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Dealerships often have higher employee turnover rates than independent shops. meaning that experienced technician working on your car might actually be newer to the job than the mechanic at your local garage. Independent shop owners typically build long-term relationships with their staff because they can't afford the constant training costs that big dealerships absorb. But here's the real kicker. Dealerships are primarily focused on selling new cars, not fixing old ones. Service departments are often viewed as profit centers rather than customer service centers. This means they're incentivized to find expensive problems that justify trading in your current vehicle for a shiny new one sitting on their lot. This phone explosion myth has terrified drivers for decades. Myth number 2. Cell phones cause gas station explosions. A shocking 40% of drivers still believe this myth. Using your phone at the pump could blow up the station. Plenty of tests have been done, including by Mythbusters, and they all came to the same conclusion. It's total fiction. Here's the truth. Even the FTC, the Petroleum Equipment Institute, and the National Fire Protection Association say there's no truth to it. The real threat? Static electricity, not texts, not calls, not scrolling TikTok. Let me explain what actually causes fires. Gas station fires usually start when someone re-enters the car, builds up static, and sparks it when grabbing the nozzle. To stay safe, touch a metal part of your car to discharge static before pumping. Here's the kicker. If fuel vapors were that sensitive to radio signals, any vehicle engine or radio emissions would have ignited them long before the driver used their phone. The myth persists because it sounds scientifically plausible, but it's completely false. Here's something you probably don't know. The myth actually started in the 1990s when a few gas station fires coincidentally occurred while people were using early cell phones. Investigators never found any causal link, but the timing was enough to spark the urban legend. The petroleum industry, being naturally cautious, decided to post warning signs just in case, which only reinforced the myth in people's minds. But here's the fascinating part. Your car's own ignition system produces far more electrical interference and radio frequency emissions than your phone ever could. If cell phone signals could ignite gasoline vapors, every car with a running engine at a gas station would be a rolling bomb. The electrical systems in modern vehicles, from fuel injectors to radio antennas, generate significantly more electromagnetic energy than any mobile device. And now, the number 1 myth that's been destroying cars for generations. Myth number 1. Maintaining your own car is complicated. Car manufacturers and repair shops want you to think working on your car is complicated, that you need expensive tools, advanced computers, and expert skills. But that's just not true. Most car maintenance is simple. Rubber and plastic wear out, fluids leak, potholes mess things up. These are the real issues, not some hidden computer failure. Here's the reality. Yes, modern cars have computers, but they rarely break. Most repairs are basic. Changing fluids, replacing worn-out parts, tightening connections. It's not as hard as they make it seem. Let me tell you why this matters. If you can fix a bike, swap a phone battery, or change a fridge filter, you've already got the skills to handle simple car fixes. Oil changes, air filters, spark plugs, checking fluids. Easy stuff. And if you're unsure, there are tons of guides and videos to walk you through it. Here's the shocking truth. The automotive industry deliberately makes car maintenance seem more complicated than it actually is to protect their profit margins. When you can change your own oil for $20 instead of paying $80 at a shop, or replace a cabin air filter for $8 instead of $40, that's a significant revenue loss for service centers. But here's what really blows my mind. Many complicated repairs are actually just multiple simple steps combined. For example, changing brake pads sounds intimidating, but it's essentially just unbolting old parts and bolting on new ones. The tools required often cost less than a single trip to the mechanic, and once you own them, you can use them for years of future maintenance. Here's the secret that'll save you thousands. Start with the absolute basics, like checking fluid levels, tire pressure, and replacing air filters. There you have it. Which myth shocked you the most out of all? Which one do you already know? Let me know in the comments below. Aside from car myths, there are actually mechanic scams that you are 100% falling for, costing you money on unnecessary repairs. Click this video to save money. Until next time.